What's going on, YouTube? So today I'm going to talk about my first experience at the Hyundai dealership to get some service done, specifically my first oil change. So the car just passed 4,000 miles, so not technically due for an oil change yet, but my salesman had set up an appointment about 3 months in advance. I had completely forgotten about it, and then I got a text message saying, "You have an appointment next week." And I already had suspicions that they probably don't get many, if any, Elantra N's in, and B, I've already heard stories about people having issues with their oil change at Hyundai, specifically putting in the wrong weight oil or non-synthetic. So, I specifically told the service guy that approached me, hey, just make sure that they put full synthetic in. And he said, yeah, absolutely. We're going to follow whatever's recommended. And, one of the things that kind of worried me already was that he mentioned, I really like this paint. I've never seen this color before. I really like this red trim. That's really cool. I've never seen that before. So right there, it told me this guy's never seen an Elantra N. And that was a little worrisome. So anyways, I did make sure that he was going to put in full synthetic. I did not mention the oil weight, which now I kind of regret not doing that, and you're gonna understand why in a second. So went to the waiting room, did a little work. He came back probably about 15 minutes later and said, your car's all done. Great, quick, super fast. And so he brought me out. He said, all right, just sign this invoice. And I looked at the invoice, and the invoice says on it that they used 0W20, Quaker State 0W20. Which was concerning because everywhere in my manual, on the oil cap, and also there's a sticker inside the engine compartment that all say 0W30, and they recommend Shell Helix. So they used Quaker State 0W20. It did say full synthetic, I believe. So at least they got that part right. So basically I said to the service guy, I said, hey, I think you used the wrong weight oil. He said, oh, that's strange. Let me go talk to the service manager. The service manager called me over. The service manager, and I've run into this quite a few times where I typically know more about the car than the service manager does. And he started spieling off some out of the butt talk about it not having certain bearings that help with oil on startup, and so the 0W20 would actually help with that. Completely made up, never heard of anything like that. So fast forward, he shows me on his computer that the oil weights for the Elantra N can be 0W20, 0W30, or 5W30. First I ever heard of that, was very confused by it. I said, what is this? He said, this is our system computer. It says that it can take these weight oils. We use 0W20. And I said, okay, well, again, I'm just saying that in my manual it says 0W30 only. On the oil cap it says 0W30. He said, well, 0W30 is about $28 a quart, so it's another reason we're not going to use it. And you're going to be fine. You're covered under warranty, nothing to worry about. Your car is going to be fine. And basically wasn't going to change it. So instead of spending my whole morning arguing with him, I decided to leave and accept his answer until I got home. And then I went on one of my Facebook groups that I'm on and found a post that was pretty much exactly to the T what happened to me, someone else, 0W20. So I said, hey, this happened to me. What's the deal? They're telling me that these other weight oils can be used. And someone who said he's a Hyundai tech answered and said, absolutely not, should be 0W30, and then put up screenshots of his system that says that specifically, and said that they were probably pulling up a different model Elantra. So now I'm even more confused. So what now? So I decided to contact Hyundai corporate. I think it's Hyundai customer care, and the rep that I got, she was very nice and looked up the information she had. And what does her system say? Her system says it will take 0W20, 0W30, and 5W30, and actually read from her online manual that information. And I said, well, that's not at all what it says in my manual. We compared pages. Hers was on page 211, mine was on page 213. We were both kind of stumped. She said, you're fine, your car's fine, nothing's gonna happen, you're still covered under warranty. And basically her only suggestion was try calling a different dealership and see what they say, what they have in their system. So I ended up calling a dealership down the street from me, and they told me the same thing: 0W20, 0W30, or 5W30. But what I found was interesting is she said, I tell my team to use whatever's on the oil cap. So I said, okay, great. So if I bring my car down for my oil change to you next time, will you use the 0W30? And she said, if it's available. So basically I said, so what you're telling me is it's what's available and what's the cheapest? And she said, yeah, pretty much. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm accepting. I decided to basically just drain the 0W20 out and put in 0W30. I am kind of, and if anyone that's subscribed to me knows I'm a little bit anal about certain things like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the exact type of oil that the car calls for in there. Yes, was it a little more expensive? Sure. But for me, it's just that knowing that it's got what it's called for in there makes me feel better. So that's my first Hyundai dealership experience with service. Not exactly what I was hoping for, kind of what I set myself up knowing might happen, and it did happen. So it's not the end of the world. I haven't lost all trust in Hyundai. I still absolutely love this car. It's just a very confusing first service situation, and I thought I'd let you guys know how it went in case you go in for your first service and a similar thing happens. Let me know your thoughts. Have you had this happen? Would you put up a fight? Would you think it was strange that your manual says one thing and they're telling you a different thing? Let me know you guys' thoughts. So one thing that came out of this is when I was doing my own oil change, I figured out how to put the car on 4 jack stands. This is not needed for an oil change, but I wanted to rotate my tires as well, those expensive Michelin tires. So basically I will be following this video up shortly with a video on how to do that for you guys. Yes, I know how to jack the car up using the pinch welds underneath the frame, but this is putting jack stands underneath it. So if you jack up by the pinch welds, where are you going to put the jack stands? So I explain how to do that. It might be helpful for you guys if you want to put your car on 4 jack stands. And like I said, I'll follow this video up with that very shortly. So let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think about the whole oil situation? And what have you dealt with? So hope to hear from you guys. Again, as always, subscribe, hit like, and all those fun things. Until the next video, peace out.